Hey, Brian from Garage Hall. Today I have lock laces, and I absolutely love these things. For one thing, I have these hiking shoes, and they are great. However, for whatever reason, even sometimes when I double knot these, they come loose. So all of my shoes, sneakers, everything I have, I've kind of turned them into slip-ons with these. But this is the camo color, and it comes with the locking mechanism and then these pieces that you basically can put down onto the laces at the end, so you have like a exact cut per se. So anyway, so this is the camo color, and it is the boot length, so it is really long. However, it is like the best color that matches this, so that's why I ended up getting the boot ones. So it's very simple. These I didn't put these on fast enough, and I probably have a good, probably like 200 miles in these, but it's come to the point where I started walking my dogs 2 at a time, and what happens is I have 2 leashes, so trying to hang on to 2 dogs and 2 leashes, and then your shoes come untied, not a great scenario. I end up like having to step on their leashes and basically anchor them down. And they're 2 big dogs. They're both probably, one's about 90 pounds, the other one is probably 110 pounds, I think is what her last scale weight was. So me trying to step on their leashes while I try to use 2 hands to tie my shoes is a little tricky, to say the least. Anyway, so that's why I got these for this pair of shoes, and it's like really super easy to do. You're basically just relacing, and that's why I have this other shoe up here, so I can kind of follow the same pattern. So you are basically just relacing your shoes, and if I can do this easy enough. So I try to keep that centered. And it's not really important that you keep it centered because you're going to be cutting them to size anyway. So then we basically crisscross over to each side. A lot easier if I position this. Hopefully I get it right on camera. But these are, they're awesome, because once you have them in place, it actually will flex and move to your foot pattern, I guess. So it's kind of like almost like a self-adjusting, because it will hold your shoes nice and snug where you need them to be snug at, but at the same time, and make sure you arrive this right. So second loop, and then going into a third loop, then I cross over. Okay. So when I've noticed when I'm walking and I have these lock laces on, they self-adjust. It's like pretty cool to the right tension of your feet, depending on how your feet are shaped. So it'll be snug in one area, loose in another, and it always has them nice and secure. I even had these on a pair of running shoes, not that I do that much running anymore, and I noticed it was like great. It was absolutely great. So that's how we are so far, and I do the top lace as well. So again, it's important to keep one shoe readily available so you can mark the pattern of that. Okay, so there we have it. So it doesn't really matter how close you have it. So this is what locks it. So you are basically putting this little disc piece in there, and you want to push it down, and then you want to push each lace through. So let me just make sure I have it the right way. So this one goes on this side. So we'll pull that through. And this is basically how it ties it per se. It is a little tricky. It's got a strong spring on there. So basically what you're doing is once I cut these to my desired length, I basically just kind of like pull down on that, and you can see how it will tighten. And what I mean by self-adjusting is as you move around, these laces are going to move, and they're going to find it's like basically like your sweet spot for your feet, and then you kind of go from there. Anyway, let me lace these other ones up, and I'll kind of give you a picture of what they look like once I snap these on at the end. But basically you're just kind of finding out how much you need. I usually might leave about this much left over, cut it, put this little kind of like a leash on at the end of these laces so they don't come apart, and then I will tuck it under these top parts on there so that way it doesn't come loose. I got a little wiggle room, so in case like your feet swell or something like that and you have to loosen up on this, you can do that, and it makes life a dream. But anyway, let me do this other side. Stay tuned. I'll probably fast forward this one so it goes a lot faster, and then I'll show you what they look like. So. Okay, so let me adjust these to size and I'll let you know what it looks like. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is the one shoe that I have completely done, and you can see how it's got that little lock piece on it. This is the lace that I have left over that I cut with basically a scissor. So throw that in the trash. And then what I do here is, so these are your two ends that you have left over. And how this little gizmo works is you take it like this, and you are putting the two laces in between there, and then not all the way to the top, so you'll see how it has that little gap up here. So you take this and you bend this over, and I've only been able to get this with a use of like a little pair of pliers, and it just takes a little grip down there, and then that is set to go. And then like I said, when you are ready to hit the trail, you just tighten it down like that, and then I will usually put that lace kind of like through the front. So that's probably like a lot left over, but you can adjust it as you feel fit, because then that pops out pretty easy with just a little flathead screwdriver you put in there, and then that basically pops out. But yeah, these are ready to go. Anyhow, Brian from Garage Mahal, thanks for watching, and be safe and fit out there.